Welcome to episode 6 of the Slap Happy podcast. We're over the 5 episode mark and we're over our month-long hiatus. We reached a little bump in the road.
It happens.
We had a very rocky relationship.
Couple unforeseen issues.
Cops were called. It was black eyes.
We don't want to get into
black
it.
eyes were given. It's still
Kind of an Earl Thomas situation, but
it's still a legal ongoing issue, so we can't get too much into it. But today we talk Last Dance. Talk about my new nickname, Cream. And we get into some a little debate about green Jell-O, discussion
yep,
about
green Jell-O,
pizza poisoning.
I had no idea about the green Jell-O.
And some segments. So, here we go. I guess before we get too far into talking about anything, we should address something that happened last episode, which is about a month and a half ago, or I think it's actually a full month, maybe to the day of recording this.
And I would like to say Tiger King really is gone now. Nobody's talking about it anymore.
No, it's gone. Well, because we had The Last Dance.
True.
And that just completely,
it's just crazy. I mean, it was
swept it away.
It was a steep mountain there. They were going up, and then a steep one coming back down the backside.
It was a one-hit wonder. It was meant to be here for a quick time to get us through, and it did its job. And
it really did do a nice job. A nice filler there.
It gave us what we needed.
It was like a nice backup quarterback because you knew your quarterback. He probably had a appendicitis. Had his appendix out. You knew he was going to miss 1 week. He's coming right back. So that's what Tiger King was. He was that backup quarterback to fill in for 1 week
or mono.
Sure.
Yeah. But before we get too big into Last Dance, we want to talk about something that happened last time. As you may know, I am beyond best friends with George Kittle.
Mm-hmm.
So
like brothers.
Yeah. So he didn't reach out to us after the last episode. I thought he would reach out first. That's okay.
He's playing hard to get.
Yeah. And he's probably busy.
He's probably nervous.
What does he have to do? He has plenty to do. Virtual off-season started.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably got Zoom meetings. I also had Zoom meetings. So
working on his evil laugh for when he pancakes defenders.
Yeah. He just has so much to think about. I don't want to. I figured I'd extend the olive branch and reach out, kind of take some of the pressure off and everything. So I DM'd him, I think 4 days ago now, and I haven't heard a response yet, but I think it's coming. And I'm trying to get him on the show. So I'm going to read what I wrote for everybody here. This is to George Kittle, DMs, Instagram. I feel like Instagram DMs are the only DMs that people slide into. If you slide into somebody's Twitter DMs, I feel like it's
a little weirder.
It's weirder. I don't know.
If you were going to say I slid into somebody's DMs, in my head, I'm picturing it being on Instagram.
Yeah. I don't know why that's the case. But you don't slide into dude's DMs unless it's George Kittle. So, anyway. This is to George Kittle. Hey, kiddo. I'm sure you remember, but just in case you don't, I'm your old pal from your Instagram Live you did back approximately 5 weeks ago. That's actually 6 weeks ago, at least now.
Tough start, but that's okay. Easy to recover from that.
If that doesn't jog your memory, I was the guy who asked you, George, what we eating after this? He was working out. So that's like a normal question to ask after you work out. You want to know what somebody's eating, just like because
post-workout meal.
No,
Sure.
Yeah, diet's 80% of it. So I never knew you were going to answer, and I never knew this was going to be the start of a beautiful, blossoming friendship. But when you said, I don't know, man, probably whatever's in my fridge, which is a smart answer. Smart answer.
He couldn't lose with that answer.
No, unless he's eating like a grain bar or something, but that could just be a side. All my expectations were shattered. This is not a budding friendship, but a brotherly bond. Not like a Hulk Hogan brother, but more like a Will feral stepbrother kind of situation. Do you have a stepbrother, George? I didn't, but I certainly feel confident I do now. With all we've been through, I was hoping you could do me a favor, as brothers do, and come on my podcast, the Slap Happy Podcast, to lament our covalent bond we now share.
It's beautiful.
I thought so.
You reacted together nicely, I think. And I loved a couple of times you said your beautiful budding friendship, and then a brotherly bond. A lot of B's there.
He's a big alliteration guy.
Right.
I know that because of our friendship.
Your friendship.
But I'm hoping that'll get him interested.
I'm sure
He'll
it did.
be sounding it out, and
I'm sure maybe that even threw him off and impressed him, and that's making him more nervous, and that's why he hasn't responded yet.
It's true. I think, like me, he just has to think of the right words to say.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like you put a lot of thought into that.
Of course. Why do you think I just sent it 4 days ago?
Yeah.
I was thinking about this since I really saw the Instagram video.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. I don't see how he doesn't respond, but if not, we'll try again next week till he answers.
Yeah.
So
one of those guys.
Okay. Last Dance. It was a perfectly timed blessing. Like you said, after Tiger King.
Yep.
Kind of waiting.
It sure was.
ESPN moved it up for us, although it would have been sick to see it.
And it's nice.
Every other day of the finals.
It was very cool that they they had it come out. It only aired every week, so you could only get a little bit at a time. Like Tiger King, you could just watch. You could watch it.
Yeah, it was just
however
day.
many episodes it was, 7, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like 45 minutes long. You could watch that in 5 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
But Last Dance, I liked how they did it every week.
To space it out, I think they could have spaced it out more, to be honest.
Like 1 episode a week?
Yeah, I don't think anybody knew how long this thing was going to last.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to
I don't know.
blame them for that. But
I liked the 2 episodes a week.
I didn't mind it. I mean, I'm just kind of disappointed by what we do now, but that's okay. That's okay. We do have some stuff looking positive for sports coming.
Yeah.
But thank you for ESPN for giving us 2 hours a week to kind of forget that sports don't exist, and instead let us watch Michael Jordan just really talk shit for 10 hours.
Yeah, about
everybody.
Everybody and anybody who was somebody in the 90s.
It's literally a 30-year span of Jordan talking shit. Like, I think that's what's so cool about it. It just feels like so different from what we can do now. Like, you can't just be an ass and people are like, yeah, that's just Michael.
No, it's just the competitive fire in him.
Like, now if you do that, people just send you death threats on like Twitter or something. It's just really a sign of the times of how things have changed. And I think that's like one of the coolest things to look back on too and see how basketball's changed. I mean, this isn't like us rewatching it. This is us watching it for the first time and really being able to see the Jordan thing besides highlights.
Right.
And like
it gave
see
us more
a cohesive
of an
story.
In-depth look. I mean, we've all seen the shot in Game 6 of the 98 finals, 100 times. We've seen that part of it, but we haven't seen like the behind the scenes, the small little details that we saw, like Rodman going away to Las Vegas or something in the middle of the season.
Or even just like a stitched together narrative of it. We see like clips of specific moments in time and like short little
like random regular season games.
Stuff of that, yeah. And like one big shot in like the ELO shot, and then you'll see a highlight of the Jazz series, and it's just like little clips that you don't get all the in-betweens or the web to weave it to all together.
There was a couple of times where I thought it was somewhat hard to follow. Just my opinion, I would just send a quick text. I'd be watching, I'd be invested, and I'd send a quick text or something, and I'd look back up, and all of a sudden, Dennis Rodman's now playing for the Pistons again. Or, he was just on the Bulls when I looked down, and now he's back on the Pistons, and they're playing them in the conference finals in 1990 or something, So in that aspect, I thought it was a little bit hard to follow at times, but overall, still pretty easy.
They do jump around. I mean, it's definitely one of those shows that you have to pay attention to.
Right.
And
I would like to think I know that I was paying good enough attention, but just like some little details, I was like, kind of hard to follow.
I think the thing I gathered most of it is just Jordan. He said before that he was gonna like appear like an asshole, and he didn't.
No.
He is, but that's what made him great. And I don't know if people confront him for that. And I think that's what makes it work for Jordan with the talking shit and being an ass. Is that he's just being himself, and it probably helps that he's the best basketball player ever. And that by nature.
Definitely. Not probably, definitely.
So when you're that successful and you're an asshole,
people kind of forget. They push that to the side.
Not only that, but it's one of the reasons that you're successful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't take that away, or else.
If you didn't have that, you'd just be another ordinary guy.
Yeah. If you take that success away, he would just be me. And like, then people don't. Yeah.
Literally you.
Yeah. That's the level I need to get to. I need to become the best basketball player in NBA history to get people to like me. So I at least I know what path I need to take.
It's a big goal. They say dream big.
But like, it's no fun being a suppressed asshole, just cheeks clenched all the time, just hoping that all your asshole juice doesn't burst out of me and like call everybody obscenities.
I really am not liking that visual. I'll be honest.
It's a visual I have to deal with every day.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Your hypothetical situation that you're envisioning right now is my reality. And from the perspective of an asshole, it's no fun being one until you can get to that level and can credit it as to why you're successful, because then people just have to put up with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the goal for all us suppressed assholes who are clenching.
Just clenching the cheeks.
No, it's you're a constant clencher.
Ooh, a double C. The CC.
The CC. Why do you think CC Sabathia's name is CC?
Ooh. Shout out to CC. You see, he lost some weight.
Yeah, I did.
Good for him.
Crazy beard.
It's crazy.
It looks like something could be living in there.
Something it might be.
The bug monster.
The animals got to stay away from COVID too.
It's true.
You're trying to live in some
Pitch
beards.
a tent in there.
Maybe Big Ben's beard.
Not in that way. Big Ben's beard. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
No, I didn't even put anything in for that. But so I'll talk to it slightly here. Did you see the thing today about the governor being upset that he went and got a haircut?
About Big Ben being upset that Big Ben got a haircut?
Yes.
No.
He was very upset because nobody should be getting a haircut at this time because it's not essential
sure.
business. So he came out with a statement and frowned upon Big Ben getting a haircut. I also frown upon Big Ben getting a haircut.
Tough look for Big Ben. He was just trying to look like a normal human because he really didn't.
I think he looked like the ogre that we all knew he was deep down inside. And I don't know. I think he should have kept it. Just historically, when Big Ben is clean cut, he's gotten hurt. How often has he gotten hurt when he looks like that?
Probably never, because I don't think it's ever happened.
If anything, I think his recovery speed is tremendous. Well, maybe not speed, but his recovery abilities.
His recovery rate while he's had a beard is 100%.
Yeah.
Look at it that way.
So I think if anything, he would just keep getting stronger if he kept it.
Okay.
If you just look at the numbers.
You kind of would turn into a lumberjack?
A cyborg lumberjack combo of sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cyborg arm and lumberjack look.
I mean, he's got Tommy in his elbow, so they put his calf in his elbow socket or something. I don't know how that surgery works, but
I don't know either. But
they take some
good for Big Ben.
Somewhere, but
now being back, being able to throw, that's got to be a good feeling.
I have no idea what we're talking about in Jordan.
Last Dance, I don't know, somewhere in that.
Oh, clenched cheeks.
Oh, yes.
I think
yes.
That's an asshole's dream, is to get to the point where you can kind of use that as your thing, where you're like, yeah, like that's why I'm so good at what I do. So you can't blame me for being a shitty person.
Mm-hmm.
So
like you wouldn't know who I was if it wasn't for this.
Yeah.
Shitty quality.
Yeah. So fuck off. It's what we all want.
It is.
And there's plenty of us out there.
Does sound nice.
There's plenty of us out there. I feel like anybody, like, it's not even assholes. It's just anybody with bad qualities. Like, you look at a guy that I really like and like Lil Dicky. Like, the man literally has 2 holes in his cock and talks about it all the time. And if he was any other person that wasn't famous, Like he would be just
fucking weird
made fun of constantly. And he was made fun of constantly.
until he became Lil Dicky.
Yeah. Until he monetized his too old cock.
Yeah. Somebody around the world said, "Hey, that's pretty cool. We can make some money off of this."
And he did. And he just made fun of himself and got millions. And it worked. So like, and there's plenty of people out there. Like I like to think I just make an idiot of myself every time I talk. I don't like to think that, but that's just like reality.
It'd be weird if you liked it.
Yeah. It might be like a fetish kind of thing.
That's your thing, though. Maybe that's your thing that you're going to say, "Hey, you wouldn't know me if it wasn't for that."
Yeah. You wouldn't know me if it wasn't for my fetish and embarrassing myself. So throw a pie in my face, please.
There you go. You might be
Get
on
me
something.
off.
You might be on. Oh boy,
That's what it is.
cream pie.
Yeah, if you want
Oh, sorry.
if you wanted to know the secrets.
They call you cream.
Yeah, cream pie to the face. So Jordan,
Yeah.
So I guess my overall thoughts, like it was good. Obviously, the whole doc was pretty much Jordan's perspective, which is also kind of funny because like you could very blatantly see that it's all Jordan's perspective. So it's I don't think it's the most accurate portrayal of everything, but I would love to learn about Jerry Krause's position in it, because he was the most interesting person in the documentary to me, because like he's painted as the villain, but we're never really given any reason as to why besides his ego, which is massive.
I feel like he just kept getting brought up like slightly, and then it would just kind of go back into the
He kept getting brought up.
It would just go back, take a back seat again
As like the reason for anything
for
bad
the
that
problem.
happened.
Yeah,
And
Scottie
then
Pippen,
he would go away.
Nope, Krause wouldn't pay him.
And also Scottie Pippen signing a 7-year.
Oh, way too long.
Yeah. I understand like you want to.
That security blanket.
Yeah. And like,
Kinda.
especially if you don't have money before that and
Yeah.
you want to help out your family, but that's insane. That's like baseball money. Only baseball players are that stupid. Well, baseball players also get signed until they're 50. So I guess they can do whatever they want for their
like
first
a couple of contracts. The
contract.
Albert Pujols contract. Terrible.
Unreal.
Terrible.
He's getting paid like $33 million this year.
Hey, there's a guy, Bobby Bonilla. He hasn't played in like 10 years. He's still getting paid $1.4 million every July 1st, I think, by the Mets for another 10 years.
Bryce Harper talked about it. He said the Nats were going to back pay him until he was 80.
Wow.
And his contract offer with them, he's like, yeah, I don't want that. I'd like to get paid now. And like,
That'd be nuts.
so I don't know. But obviously that depends on what you're getting paid now. But anyway, Krause, who also is a pro like baseball Hall of Famer, which is unreal.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He was a GM for the White Sox, and then he came back and he was a scout after. He worked for the Bulls. So that's insane that you can do both of those things. Obviously a wicked talented guy. And when we never hear his story in the documentary, and I mean, like, he's dead, so it'd be pretty hard to.
That's tough.
But he was awesome at what he did. I mean, nobody can knock
Deny
that.
right.
So he had a very interesting story to me that I would like to learn more about if that was possible. Which it's not,
No, it's not.
because he's dead.
I agree. That would be a cool perspective.
And he never has a chance to defend himself of anything. Like and not
Right.
saying
It was,
like,
it was easy for the documentary to paint him as the villain.
yeah, and not saying that he necessarily had an excuse, but I would like to hear what was going through his head.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't.
Why, rationalize these decisions that
Yeah.
he made a little bit.
But like we said, it was cool to like see it for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the biggest thing, is to see like
It was cool to
the
see
change
like
of
the
time.
first, because everybody knows what happened. You know, they won the 2 different three-peats, and that was kind of more middle end of Jordan's career. But the first, he didn't win a championship until I believe his 7th season in the NBA.
Yeah, it was the same
Like-
as LeBron, right?
Yeah, right. Same as LeBron, something like that. I don't know. But
LeBron had to face those tough Orlando Magic teams with Dwight Howard and Jameer Nelson. So,
yeah. Anyways, I thought it was cool to get more of a insight into Jordan's, first 6 years of his career.
It's crazy because they had possibly the most historic dynasty ever. 6 titles in 8 years. And one of those seasons, MJ was playing baseball, and the other, he was wearing 45 and didn't have enough shoulder and chest muscles. Or else they may have just won 8 titles in a row. And if Krause didn't break them up, it might have been more than that. It's insane to think about what could have been. Mm-hmm. And I think the documentary shows that in the end, which I thought...
Jordan said he thinks if they had been allowed to come back for another year, they probably would have got 7.
I'd never bet against Jordan for anything.
Yeah, no.
So... And we talked about this, but after watching, I think our boy LeBron James is outmatched. I don't think there can be an argument made for LeBron after seeing
the documentary that is about Michael Jordan that's going to paint him in a good light. You don't think there's an argument anymore.
Correct.
So we had a documentary about LeBron that showed every single highlight and good thing about LeBron ever.
That would be like... we already had that.
Bring him back.
We already had that. It was called the Decision. It was great. But since then, I don't know what highlight. When I think of LeBron, all I think of is the block and the decision and not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. So and 2 of those things are off the court. So I don't think LeBron has, and LeBron's a great player. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have those moments. And I just like MJ more because I think MJ owns his, being a dick more than LeBron owns his being a dick. And LeBron's probably a nicer guy.
And if LeBron did own being a dick, which I don't think he really is a dick.
But he has some dickish qualities.
But, he would just get, MJ played in a time where there wasn't any social media and it was a lot less, there was media, but there wasn't to the extent that there is today. So I think that hurts LeBron where he can't really embody that dickishness as much. You know what I mean?
There's guys who do, though, and the guys who do
But if they do, there's no way they're going to reach that Jordan status. There's no way you can do that.
There's no...
Not in today, I don't think.
I feel like Kobe had that. Kobe was kind of cock when he played. Nobody liked... Besides Lakers fan, nobody really liked Kobe when he played.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. You respected him, but you didn't like him.
I don't know. I think a lot of people liked him.
I don't know. And then I think of Russ. Russ is definitely
right, and it hurts him.
I don't think it hurts his fan. I feel like his fans are very loyal, and the people who support him, obviously the way he plays.
Well, sure, but to become the greatest, I think you need those other fans. Of course, the people that like you are going to like you. Your hometown fans.
Do you need fans to be the greatest, though?
Sure. If Jordan didn't have any fans, there's no way he'd be the greatest.
I don't know. I feel like he thrived off of that. He thrived off of other people hating him and saying that he couldn't do it.
I don't know, I guess. He thrived off of players saying that, coming at him.
And
I think the documentary talked about how he was the biggest American sports symbol or the biggest sports symbol in the world.
I get what you're saying as far as
you need that popularity, I guess.
In the public debate of who's better, fans can matter. But I just don't think, I don't know. I think LeBron can be wishy-washy. Or we can try to divert. He can be passive aggressive, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
And I think
sure.
People can see through that a lot easier than one may think. And he also owns Blaze Pizza, which is not in his favor. So I think those are some of the main qualities.
I don't know if that hurts him at all.
I think so. Blaze Pizza's
not even sure what that is.
It's a pizza place. So it's like Moe's for pizza.
Okay.
It's disgusting.
Oh. Well, he can't be the greatest of all time because he owns fucking Blaze Pizza, yeah.
I'm glad you see eye to eye.
I don't see that, but...
I just don't think... I don't know. I would like LeBron more if he owned...
Moe's instead.
Yeah. If he owned Mose
If
instead,
he
I
owned
would
Mose,
love him.
we might be back in the conversation. You're saying?
If he owned Mose, LeBron would definitely be my favorite player of all time. But
That's good. I like that.
I think so. That's just an investment opportunity he has to keep an eye on.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. If he owned his moves more, like I feel like he kind of diverts them, and it's weird because LeBron is definitely, like I said, definitely a better guy. But I don't like him more. I don't like his personality more. Does that make me an asshole? I mean, we've already discussed. Probably. But
I guess everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Some are just better than others.
I agree.
So, okay, I win. Okay. Do you have a favorite part?
A favorite part?
Yeah.
I like when they were throwing the quarters at the wall, and the guy with the big hair gave him the shrug.
That was an iconic moment.
That was a good part.
That was an iconic moment.
I just have that guy's
him and Gus.
I have his just him doing that in my head.
It's just an iconic.
I kind of want to get it on a T-shirt.
You remember where you are when you saw that moment.
Yeah, exactly.
I think my favorite was Reggie. It was in the last two episodes,
which I didn't see at all. I didn't see the last two. No,
that makes this conversation okay. So my credibility.
Because unfortunately, we had to put my dog down, so I didn't see the last two episodes.
You're making it a lot harder for me to be an asshole.
Yeah, I know.
But I'll do it. So that pretty much settles our MJ LeBron debate.
How?
Because you didn't see the last two episodes, so you didn't get the full picture.
So because I didn't see the whole documentary that paints Jordan in a good light, that's all about Jordan being the best player of all time. That means that Jordan is the best player of all time. Okay,
yeah, you just wouldn't get it.
Yeah, okay, I got it.
Well, anyway, in those last two that you didn't see, that takes away your credibility.
Because my dog died.
Reggie Miller, he kept making up nicknames for MJ, which is a very odd choice when the man has the most iconic nicknames ever.
And that it had been proven that he thrived off of that, right? Like, you had to think that people knew he thrived off of people doing that.
Well, he just, when describing Jordan, like, not even as, like, bad nicknames, but, like, he just called him, he said, I always called him Black Jesus. And then in a post-game interview, he said, oh, it's hard to do anything when that black cat's out there. Wow. And I'm like, that just...
You got to know that's just like throwing gasoline on the fire, right?
I feel like that makes no sense why you would even think to call Jordan the Black Cat. First off, that's not even a good nickname. Second off...
The Black Cat.
Like, this man has... You could call him, like... You could even call him Jumpman. Like, and I wouldn't care.
Sounds like we're playing 2K and they're like having the nicknames.
Yeah, as the names you have to say. Yeah, it was
scores in the bucket.
It literally sounds like they just inserted it in. Yeah. But no, he said this in real time. He called Jordan the Black Cat, which is maybe the weirdest, most uncomfortable nickname I've ever heard for an NBA player. Besides Glenn Big Baby Davis, which was a nickname that
I like that nickname.
He chose to carry with him.
Not like the best when somebody makes up their own nickname.
Cream. You can call me Cream.
I'm kidding when I say that.
I'm not. I'll
call you Cream if you want me to.
I think I'll gladly take on the nickname Cream. I did have a couple critiques.
Okay.
First off, fuck you for making me feel bad about myself. Not you, but the documentary. I was like riding a solid wave after Tiger King just because they're all kind of idiots.
Mm-hmm.
But now I just think that I'll never be good at anything because I don't work hard enough, which is accurate, but still mean.
You were in denial about, you thought you were a little bit higher on the.
Well, I just thought that I was
totem pole.
Yeah. That's the problem with this compared to Tiger King. Tiger King is a whole documentary about crazy people.
And you were comparing yourself to those crazy people and thinking, hey, I'm probably closer to being, the superstar of this group as opposed to the bench warmer. And now in the Last Dance one, you're you're riding the bench. I don't even think you make the team.
Well, I didn't make the team in junior varsity, so
Okay.
that's probably a good, an accurate statement.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring it up.
I mean, it is old wounds, but that's okay. You weren't there to see it. Oh, wait. Never mind. But yeah, I was looking at the crazy people from Tiger King and thinking, I am so much better than these people at any level.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was watching the crazy people in Jordan and how they're crazy by like just being super motivated, hardworking people. And it's like that Tom versus Time thing where you just watch it and you're like depressed knowing that, oh, this is why these people are successful, because they don't play Fortnite for 3 hours, jerk off twice a day, and
eat a couple Hot Pockets.
Yeah, and then
and some sour cream.
Sleep for the rest of the and sour cream. I have a 3-pound tub of sour cream in my fridge, and people are highly offended by that. It seemed to have struck a nerve with the public.
I don't even know, like, when I buy sour cream, how many pounds it is. The tub that I usually buy, I don't think it's 3 pounds.
I mean, 3 pounds is a lot of food, but it's sour. I think sour cream is
like, I'd like to see the container to get to kind of know how much 3 pounds of sour cream is.
Do you want to see it? You can go in there.
I mean, maybe I'll go check it out.
Yeah, you can bring it over.
It's huge.
It leaked on you. Yeah, it leaked a little bit.
It's big. And it's leaking. I'm going to put it back.
Okay. But yeah, that was my first critique. Second, Jordan can't be good at baseball. That can't happen. Like, we cannot hear that you sucked at baseball for like 20 years, and then all of a sudden people say, oh yeah, he wasn't that bad. That was a miracle that he hit 200. Like, no, he's bad. I don't even care if he was bad. We've heard it for long enough that
you want it to just stay like that.
That he can't be good now. Like, you can't try to change the narrative on that
13-game hitting streak started his career.
That's like if you put a guy in jail for like these like cold case things where you put a guy in jail for like 40 years and then you're like, no, he didn't even do it. Like, he's been there long enough. Might as well just keep him there. I don't think that's the right analogy to use.
I don't think so either.
I'm going to stick with my case.
Okay. No, I agree, I guess.
With the jail thing or with?
Well, with the Jordan thing.
Okay.
Because he's already got the basketball thing. He already has that. Do we have to give him the baseball too?
Exactly. I think that's where you're like, okay, this is completely Jordan's thing. This is like completely a documentary.
If we wanted to say
about,
like Steve Kerr was okay at basketball and then pretty good at baseball,
I can see Steve Kerr being a big beach volleyball guy.
Yeah, he's like the guy. He's the guy that wears the separate colored shirt.
Separate colored?
Yeah,
I think I know what you're talking about.
I think in volleyball there's 6 people out on the court. 5,
yeah,
and one person has a different colored shirt on because I don't know why, but he strikes me as one of those people.
A casual beach volleyball with one of those
sunglasses on.
Yeah, with one of those tank tops from the 90s. That's like almost the Rugrats theme background, with just like the lines through it, and maybe like some tie-dye somewhere. Tie-dye bandana, perhaps.
I hope we can get a picture of this.
But it's probably somewhere. I mean, I'm sure if we were able to think of something that descriptive, he can't not be a big volleyball guy. Last thing is pizza slander. You did not see this again.
Oh, the food poisoning?
Food poisoning. So, pizza slander. They just really ripped into pizza right there. And I don't think there's a place for that anywhere. Everybody should be able to trust that their pizza is going to be delicious and safe wherever they go. It's a legend in the food game, and fuck you, Utah, for trying to ruin that.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they already have some suspicion that there was something going on with this pizza when they ordered it, when it was dropped off?
I mean, there was 5 guys who dropped it off.
Right, so that they already thought there was a little bit something funky going on, right?
Yeah.
So so that should have been their first.
Five Guys to drop off a pizza is
I mean, how many pizzas did they get?
just the one.
Just one?
Jordan's.
Wow.
Yeah. And actually, was DiGiorno had possibly the tweet of the night with, what did they say? Not now, Twitter. Update your services. Oh, delivery pizza. Go figure. So
That's good.
That was a quality tweet. I never really had a beef with anyone before, but I feel like this is not just on those 5 people who dropped the pizza off. This is a war, possibly with the state of Utah, that may have just been started with me. I don't hate a lot of people. I'd like to think that
I like your chances in that war.
I'd like to think that I'm a pretty peaceful guy, but fuck you, Utah. Like, if you can't make pizza right, just don't make it. Focus on your own shit. Like, I looked up Utah foods today, and all I saw is scones and green Jell-O, which is somehow listed as their top food on every list that I could find. Not even a flavor, just the color green.
Green Jell-O is
It's the
Utah's
Utah food.
top 2 food.
It's fucking everywhere. I don't understand.
That's pretty cool. That's kind of cool.
Like, if green Jell-O is your top food, you shouldn't be making anything else. So just stop trying to ruin the reputation of pizza and leave it to the professionals.
Yeah.
Get it, like, just stick to soaking and green Jell-O and keep your mitts off of our stuff. They're probably just used to eating garbage and like green Jell-O, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and their stomachs are probably just iron strong.
Mm-hmm.
So when Jordan has to eat some Utah food, like, he's just not built for that. And I mean, he focused more on his chest and shoulders, not on the stomach.
True.
So maybe that's part of his training issues.
That's good. I like that. I can't believe that green Jell-O is one of their foods they're known for.
Like, I wish I could make that up, but I'm not smart enough to make
maybe
that
the
up.
Mormons really like green
Soaking
Jell-O.
in green Jell-O.
Maybe.
I think
That'd be
that's like their Netflix and chill.
Hey, you want to come over and soak our toes in some green Jell-O?
That's the PG version. But yeah, that's about all I had on the Jordan thing.
Yeah, I mean, I said earlier it was a little hard to follow, I thought, at times.
Yeah.
A little bit. Not too bad, though.
I definitely didn't think it was like the best. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I thought Tiger King as
good.
a series was better. It was made better in like production value.
Mm-hmm.
I think like the story was told better and there's like a theme behind it. And I think the theme behind this was just that Jordan's competitive fire is unreal.
Unmatched.
But like, you knew that going in. I understand Tiger King. You didn't really know anybody going in.
True.
But I think I was a bigger fan of that. Although I was a bigger fan of this.
I was.
But that's just because
it interests
it was
me more.
sports. Yeah, it was more relevant. And now we get to see one ball Lance for the next, I don't know how long, but there's more than one part in the series. One ball, more than one part. But luckily, that's not the only thing that we get to look forward to, because it seems like things might be getting back to normal a little bit.
Yeah. Like the other day, Governor of New York, Texas, and California said that pretty soon professional sports can plan to, resume playing.
Yeah.
Or start playing, depending on the season. Baseball will start, basketball can resume.
And I feel like
which is big, like those states in particular. I'm sorry I cut you off. Because those are the big states, the more populated ones. So if they're being able to, go forward and playing, then the other smaller states will probably follow in their footsteps, I would think.
Yeah, that was going to be exactly what I was going to say, is that like, if these 3 states open,
right,
then any can.
Yeah.
And also, California, pussy move on their part. They, within a day, went from, we're not opening the city of Los Angeles till the end of, like, through the end of the year, to, all right, everybody hates us, we're bringing sports back.
LA, that's a big one, because they have like three teams a
in
sport.
like each sport, yeah. So
at least, I mean, California as a whole.
That's
does
probably
for sure.
like the worst look for them that they could have possibly done.
You're saying they should have just stuck to their guns, stuck with it.
They had to.
Not backed out.
They just acted like they didn't say that, and then just kind of like reverted, like it just completely made something up. Like, and now I feel like the people of California are on the state. Like you can just say whatever you want, and they'll probably just say, "All right, bet," because I'm sure the governor of California uses the word "bet."
Probably,
but
big for us too. Today, you see, Governor Cuomo said that the Capital Region can enter phase 1 of reopening tomorrow. So we're recording. It's
like golf courses and stuff.
It's Tuesday night. So by Wednesday morning,
we'll be back.
Yeah,
we'll be back. But yeah, I knew we were gonna loosen some restrictions, but now it feels kind of like a free for all. Like regardless of it just being phase 1.
For me, before it felt like, we knew we were going to get there, but we didn't know when. But now it feels real. It's starting to feel real, like we're getting there.
I feel like it's not. I don't even know about the numbers, so I don't want to speak too much to it. But It feels like we're just fed up with it to the point where we're like, all right, we're just going to go out now. Like I saw so many people out this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, the weather's getting nice. You knew that was going to happen. People are going to start getting out of their house, going places and doing stuff.
Yeah, and it just seems like people are like, all right, fuck it. Like, we're going out, whether it kills us or not. And like, but as long as we have sports, I think I can kind of zone that out. Me too. And forget.
I think as long as sports are playing, I don't care if there's fans in the stands or not. I mean, that's obviously a big part of it. I love that. The atmosphere is huge.
Sex dolls in the stands. Did you see that?
That's fine. I did see that.
South Korea.
They had to apologize.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I don't see what they had to apologize for.
No, I don't either.
But
weren't they clothed? They put clothes on them, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't see the problem with it.
I don't see that either.
This all set in for me yesterday, which Monday, when I was talking to somebody and they brought up the NASCAR race on Sunday, and they were like, "Did you see that?" And I said, "Nah, I didn't even know it happened." And for a moment, I felt comfortable. Like I felt like, like doesn't this feel nice to just miss another NASCAR race?
You want NASCAR to come back just so you can not watch it again?
Yeah,
that's. I feel you. I don't watch NASCAR. It provides
me a sense of comfort in knowing like, there was something.
The world is back to normal.
Yeah, there was
bit.
something.
Yeah.
Is there any other like big stories we missed that you had?
We're getting a new crew in the Monday Night Football booth.
Yeah, and it's not gonna be Pat McAfee. Who, like, I'm trying to think of who I would want. I feel like Steve Levy's definitely getting it. I don't know.
Sure. Do you think Herb Street is going to maybe go into that? Or you think he sticks with college?
That's interesting. I didn't even think about Kirk.
I loved Sean McDonough in that. He's one of my favorite announcers. I really like him.
I have not liked who they've had there in forever.
Since Gruden and Tirico, or?
Yeah. I don't even know what Tirico does anymore. He doesn't do anything. He does like Thursday night games on NBC, and there's only 2 a year.
Yeah, I think he's the
alternate.
He's right, but he also hosts the pregame show with Tony Dungy and Rodney Harrison.
That's a waste of talent.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's what he likes.
It's also a waste of talent for Tony. I feel like Tony could definitely do in-game stuff.
Tony could do something.
Like there's some people who do pregame stuff that I don't think would be good in-game. Terry Bradshaw.
Oh my God, he's terrible sometimes.
In game,
when he's reading the halftime highlights.
But that's what makes Terry awesome.
It is funny. So
like,
he's so bad at it.
You need him as like that second Monday night game. You could literally throw anybody on because we're all like it's like late at night. It's like the Bill Walton effect.
Sure.
Where if it's late at night, you can literally throw anybody on, and they could be as weird as possible.
I forget what year it was. I think it was the 2017 season. The Broncos played somebody at home the second Monday night game there, and there was like Vance Joseph. What's his name? Broncos head coach.
Vance Joseph was the head coach.
He's not anymore. Yeah. Okay, yeah, but it was his first game, and ESPN had some sideline reporter. It was his first game, I believe, as well.
Sergio.
Yes. I remember watching it live and saying, "Oh my God, this is the worst I've ever seen. Worst thing I've ever seen." If you haven't seen it at home or listening, go watch it. Look it up.
That's a classic.
Sideline reporter, 2017 Monday night opener for the Broncos.
It was Broncos Chargers, I think.
Might have been. I don't know.
I don't remember.
I just remember the Broncos were playing. I'm not sure who they were playing.
Oh, Broncos became Super Bowl favorites, possibly for the next 10 years after the draft. Drew Lock MVP. No sunflower seeds for baseball coming back.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know
They're
that.
not allowed to have sunflower
that's going to be
seeds.
terrible.
So I don't really know if baseball can even come back. Is baseball even baseball without sunflower seeds?
No, it's not.
But I assume they can still throw fat lips in. So
I don't know.
we'll see. We'll see.
Boy, that's tough.
We'll see. And then every NFL player getting arrested. Those are the big things that we miss.
Big
or in
stuff.
trouble. Because, I mean, Earl Thomas didn't get arrested. Stuff happened.
Yeah,
So.
shit happens. Yeah,
Not even shit, just stuff.
You're right.
All right. Let's get into some segments. We have 2 today. We have first our top names of the NFL draft. We didn't really have much draft coverage just because we were gone. And it happened so long ago. But we figured this is really the main information that everyone will want to know. So we want to get in the top names of the NFL draft. How many names do you have?
1, 2, 3, like 10.
Okay.
I just put down some
that is plenty.
interesting ones. Some of them were for dumb reasons, but
That's
like,
fine.
Like one of them had a.
That's kind of the reason
Yeah. Okay.
we're doing it. All right. So we'll do top 5.
Oh,
Top
geez.
5, top
Oh,
4.
geez. Okay. I'm gonna have to. All right.
Four?
No, we're good. We're
Top
good.
4?
Sure.
Top 4. Top 4 names of the NFL draft. My first is Albert Okwuegbunam. Okwuegbunam.
Okay.
Albert's an awesome name.
Right. I was gonna say that. I like Albert.
Yeah, I think Albert is just a flexible name. Very versatile. Like Al still works well.
Mm-hmm.
And Albie, maybe. Albert. Fat Albert. I feel like the name and the character of Fat Albert, I feel like you can be fat and people will like that because they can call you Fat Albert. And if you're skinny, I think it's a pleasant surprise. So I think Fat Albert is really, or Albert in itself.
What position does he play? Do you know? Any idea?
He plays tight end, so
Okay.
he can move.
Yeah.
He can shuffle.
He can be a little chunky still.
Yeah, but he can move.
Cool. Okay. One of mine was Kindle Wilder. I don't know. I just thought Kindle was a interesting.
Kindle, like the book.
Right. Like the virtual book there.
Ah.
I don't know. I just thought it sounded cool coming off the tongue too. Kindle Wilder.
I had a name like that too. Didn't make the list for me, but as an honorable mention, Quintez Cephas. The name Cephas just sounds fun.
Solid first name.
Yeah.
Quintez
Cephas. My number 2, Anthony McFarland Jr.
I thought I saw that one.
Now,
Yep.
I imagine when you hear this name, it brings out the same curiosity and joy it brought me. But I'm sorry to announce that Anthony McFarland Jr. is in no way related to Anthony McFarland, aka like
Booger.
Boog.
Yeah.
McFarland.
See, that's what I thought at first when I saw it, and I was
too.
like, "Oh, I don't know. Maybe is that going to be too easy? I bet Ryan's going to have that in his."
Of course. I imagine this took everyone by surprise, including Mike Tomlin, who, in addition to George Kittle, is a personal friend of ours.
Mm-hmm.
So he may be just learning this news for the first time upon listening to us, and if that is the case, I hope not. I don't want to be the one who's breaking his heart, but if you are, Mike, we feel for you. Although that's probably a question that they should have asked in their pre-draft interviews. So,
well, you did 2 there. You did your third and your second.
I did. That was an honorable mention. Honorable mention was Cephas.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I apologize if he's on your
I'm
list.
sorry. No. One of mine was Noah Igbenogany.
I saw him. Yeah.
Just the last name is the only reason he was on there. I mean, Noah. What a classic first name.
Very classic.
Let's get that out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
But his last name, I'm not sure if I'm even pronouncing that correctly. I think he was a pretty high draft pick.
It happens. I did see that one.
Igbenogany.
I think you got it. That sounds a lot better than what I had with Albert.
Yeah, right. I went forward. I was pronouncing it in my head as you were going on that last rant, trying to get it right. Hopefully I nailed it, Noah.
I think I think the effort on your part.
His mom was a teacher. They definitely called her Mrs. I.
Yep.
In school, you know.
That's true. Third choice, Cameron Curl.
Yeah, I like that one.
Safety out of Arkansas. It just sounds like a Canadian porn star's name, who like not even like a hot porn star, but like one of those weird ones that you see who's like oddly jacked. Like
Okay.
she's like the porn star who does like on her OnlyFans. It's probably her doing the egg challenge where you put it in between your bicep and crack it, and like that.
Maybe
just
she does it in between her tit and her bicep.
That also could happen, or just in between her tits. Maybe just with one tit, she curls it.
I'd watch it tonight.
Curled tit into the abyss.
It's in season. I might watch that.
Wow, fair enough. Yeah.
Okay, another one of mine. Prince Tega Wanogo.
Yep.
Right. The Eagles drafted him.
That's your guy.
It's my guy. Prince is a great first name.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
I just think, and with my new job, I work with a guy named Prince a lot, and I like him. So I'm just picturing this guy, this tackle, for the Eagles as that guy. Mm-hmm. So I like him already.
Yeah, that's a smart move.
And it's a crazy name, Prince Tega Wanogo.
And when you have three names, you know something's official. And I think Prince is nice because it's not as pretentious as being named King, but it also shows that you're important.
Right. You're humble about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My fifth and last guy is Tommy Stevens, quarterback out of Mississippi State. Now, this might sound like a normal name, but Tommy Stevens is the whitest name ever. He sounds like he's a 10-year-old that lives in a cul-de-sac somewhere in New Jersey. And I just, like, I'm going to make a bold statement and say if your name's Tommy, I'm 80% sure you're under the age of 13. And
right. After that, we start calling you Tom, right?
Yeah, I can't picture any grown men named Tommy. So this guy's definitely making a bold choice in his career, and we're going to see how it pays off. But I mean, best of luck to Tommy Stevens going forward. Little Tommy Stevens. It just flows off the tongue. Like, I didn't even want to say little there, but it just kind of went with the flow.
Yeah.
Like, you can just see a mother talking, oh, little Tommy Stevens down the street. I don't even know what accent that was, but it just came out.
Yeah. I mean, right now I'm picturing Mrs. I, a.k.a. Noah Igbenogany's mother, the teacher that we gave, right? That we said
There's
earlier.
no way that
she had Tommy Stevens probably in class.
There's no way that Mrs. I and Tommy Stevens lived in the same neighborhood.
Probably not.
Not on a teacher's salary.
Probably not.
Tommy definitely lived in the rich part of town. I feel like Tommy's just a rich guy name.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, mine was my last one, McTelvin Agim.
It's a good one.
I liked the McTelvin part of it.
Mick is always a nice touch.
Right. It just reminds me of McDonald's.
It's always a good add-on because it's a way to just spice up an original name.
Mm-hmm. They could have gone with Telvin Agim. That would have been a fine name.
But also
McTelvin is
cool.
cool.
They could have went with Donald.
Sure.
And I think the Mick is what separates it. I think Mick is what separates Telvin from Telvin Smith, and nobody wants to be associated with Telvin Smith at this time.
No.
Our second question, or list, draft, whatever you would like to call it or identify it by, is worst feelings. This is any kind of feeling that you could have, but it's the worst.
Mm-hmm.
We want to do top 4 again?
I don't have that many.
How many do you have?
I have 3, but I don't think one of them is a good one.
You have 3.
I have 2 solid ones.
I also have 3.
Okay. So interesting of you to say top 4. When you only had 3.
Well, I have 3. I have 5, but I have 4 good ones, so I can do 3.
Let's do 3.
Okay. You go first.
All right. I'm going to go with my worst one first. Armpit sweat, and knowing that you have a lot of armpit sweat, you know, and it's like going through your shirt. You know?
Yeah, when you know that it's showing.
Like when you're give it, maybe like in a scenario we'll give is you're going up to give a presentation in class, and you know your armpits are sweating.
Well, it's
hard.
just because you have to make the conscious you consciously have to think, I can't lift my arms.
Right,
up.
and I feel like a lot of times when I'm giving a presentation, I think talking with your hands is a big thing, at least for me. I think it looks good when you're up there. It shows confidence in a way. And then if you know you got armpit sweat, you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be that known as that guy.
Your range of motion is limited.
Exactly. I mean, maybe you can dress for it. Maybe wear a black shirt or something.
If you know you have it, you definitely have to prepare.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be the guy that goes in and like buys like pro grade deodorant and like
No.
doctors approved, like seal you right up. That's like going in and buying like heavy duty Tamps.
Tamps.
Like yeah, it's a rough one.
Yeah.
All the time. Like you don't want people to know that. It's just embarrassing. So I would know. I do buy heavy duty Tamps. So
Stop.
because I'm trying to keep all that. I'm clenched.
True. Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah,
That's fair.
I think my first one is going to be when you start driving and you know you forgot something, but you're too far to go back.
Like it's not important enough to go back,
Or you just
maybe
like,
it even is, and it's like a 40-minute drive,
yeah,
and you're like 28 minutes in.
yeah.
There's no
like,
way you're
as soon
turning
as
around.
You know, and you're just like, there's this constant feeling. I think you could lump in with this. I don't know if this would be like too much of a 2-for-1. Just like that feeling of thinking that you forgot something.
Like you forgot to lock the door.
Yeah,
Or
like
shut the
close
lights
garage.
off, close the garage. Sure.
Yeah.
Like it just becomes so routine that you forget doing it at that specific moment.
Sometimes when I just like am packing a lot of things, if I'm like going on a vacation or something, I just think that I forget something the whole time. And maybe even after I come home, like I'm like, yeah, I think I have
that
everything.
vacation could have been so much better if I brought this one thing that I still can't think of.
Yeah, like I think I have everything.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure something's gonna come up, and when I need it, it's not gonna be there. So that feeling, and then when you're driving and you're like, oh, I don't know, it's bad.
That is a bad feeling for sure. I'm with you. All right, my next one is having wet socks.
I like your list.
What a terrible feeling. Like recently, golfing, it's still early in the season, still May, mid-May. The ground's still a little bit wet. You get on the first hole, and your socks are already wet. That's terrible. You got to play the rest of the round with wet socks.
That's like the worst part of gym class when you're a kid too.
Sure, you
Didn't
you
bring
go
a change
hard
of socks.
Yeah, you go hard in gym class, and then you gotta maybe if you got an early class, first period, you got to hold the whole rest of the day with wet socks, or go no socks. But that's just weird.
That's even
That's worse. Yeah.
Then you just have wet shoes. You probably that's probably how you get gingivitis or whatever's down there.
Yeah.
So, for my number 2, I put the feeling you get when you're like done masturbating. So, there's this thing like sometimes it's most of the time when you get done and you just like have this moment of in your headness where you see the world with a new clarity.
Post nut clarity.
Yeah, and you look at yourself and you're like, what have I done? And you just
why did I do that? What did I gain from that?
You just feel shame and more shame.
It's like in Game of Thrones when you're walking through the city and they're just going shame, shame.
That's what it is.
Exactly,
Except it's just the your own head saying it to you. Shame and disgust and guilt, and like the porn might still be going, and you're like, get that away from me.
Yeah. You got to exit that out.
And it's just like this isn't. This is a guy thing. Like I would like to know if this is a female thing too, because it might just be a human thing that we can all bond together on. And if we
come together as one species,
I think that would help us come together in general.
Come together. I like what you did there.
I didn't mean that, but I'm just that
worked out.
Funny,
worked out,
I guess. But yeah, I feel like that is something I'm interested in knowing. But that's besides the point. Yeah, it's probably the most like shame-filled feeling.
Sure.
That I like that a human being can experience.
All right. My last one is you're sitting there, maybe you're sitting on the couch watching TV, sitting in your bed, and you think you got a really good fart coming. You feel it building up. You're ready. You just release. You let it go, and it's just super tiny, super disappointing.
Really?
That's a terrible feeling, I think.
It's definitely a letdown.
It's a letdown for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was the worst, because
Well, for me, that's a bad feeling.
my third is also related, similarly related, and it's when you get the sudden urge to shit, but you have to be somewhere in less than 5 minutes. Like where you're in a rush to go somewhere, and you planned all your time, so you're like, okay, like I get 45 minutes to like get to class or get to work or something like that, and then you just like right before you have to leave, you have to shit.
Yeah.
And you can't, like, because it's not a viable excuse. That's not an excuse you can tell anybody.
They'd be like, oh, you should have shit sooner.
No, that's just not how it works. I had a final that I had to go late to because it started at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
1:58. My stomach starts cramping up. I'm like midway hunched over, like the freaking hunchback of Notre Dame, trying to hold myself together long enough to walk 10 feet.
We all know you're a clencher.
Yeah. I have to, like, you know how hard it is to clench
when you're already clenching?
Yeah. When you're already
you gotta
clenching.
double clench.
It's something that only, like, it takes time to master.
Only a certain percent of the population get it.
Yeah.
For me though, just the fart thing, I'm proud of a good fart. I don't know about you. I'm proud of a good fart.
Proud might not be the word I would use to describe
I am,
it.
for sure.
But
everybody else out there listening, if you fart a lot, you know you're proud of some. And when you think it's going to be a good one, and then it's not, it's just a tiny one, you're pretty let down.
Maybe I just don't do it enough.
Maybe you don't.
I'm just not in the niche audience for that one. But yeah, I've had this happen too many times that it's haunted me, and maybe eventually it'll get to the point where it's like it happens. Recently, it's been happening too much, but maybe eventually it'll get to the point where it just happens enough that I'm like, okay, this doesn't bother me as much. But like, it's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
It's just tough because you have to suppress it in like every single way. Like not only in not telling anybody and not being able to use it as like tell people the truth as to why you're late.
Yep.
But also like suppressing, holding, clenching. That's an issue that will haunt mankind to the end of time. Anyway, that's our list. That's our show.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, it was fun. Hopefully everybody enjoyed. We'll be back soon, sooner than last time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no month hiatus.
No. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon.
Smell ya.